So we're going to start with Starbucks here. This is More Perfect Union at More Perfect US on Twitter. Make sure to go give them a follow. They do excellent reporting.
If I walk into a Starbucks and I'm looking for a job, what do I get paid? Anyone know roughly?
I got 12.
How much?
About 15 now for me.
You got 15?
13.
13.
12.
$12 an hour. Do you know that those are horrendously low wages? Dumb question. Of course you know. Can you afford the health care that they give you?
No.
All right, so understand, I want you to understand this, because this is the bullshit that corporations often do. What they say to the public, McDonald's does it as well, Walmart does it. They say, oh, we're really generous. We are offering health care, we have this, we have that. And you look at the figures, nobody takes it because they can't afford it. You understand that that is a bad situation. Anybody can walk across the street, get hit by a bus. You have friends who have been diagnosed with serious illnesses, right? It can happen to anybody.
I rejoined Starbucks in July last year whenever I moved to Richmond. And then in late August, I was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, God.
And so I had no choice but to work full-time hours at Starbucks to afford health insurance so that I could get chemotherapy and all my medications. So I'm working at least 30 hours a week. I'm chemo sick.
What is your name?
My name is TJ.
TJ? All right. Thank you.
Thank God I had my last treatment in January.
I wanted to know how much knowledge you have about the hours you're working in the next couple of weeks.
It's never certain. You can tell your manager how many hours you want to work, and they might give it to you, but it's really up to them. That's what they get.
All right, so you may end up working 35 hours and not 40.
I think it's scheduled 28 hours tomorrow. So
is that sometimes? Is that
yes, sir.
But now that we've started union efforts, our store has actually hired a lot more employees very suddenly. We're now overstaffed and our hours are being cut.
So what I'm hearing from you is you may end up in a given month with less income than you thought you would have.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So it's hard to budget if you don't know how much money you're making. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You know, up until very recently, a supervisor or barista who's been there 5 years, 10 years, 15 is making the same amount as one that's just starting.
All right, let me see how smart you guys are. Why do they do that? You would think if you work 5 years, she worked 1 year, well, significantly more, right?
Sure. Absolutely.
Why do they keep your salary low?
Do they want us to leave?
Yeah. In other words, look, there are two different business models. One business model, the humane business model. So look, I want you to work for the company. Good wages, benefits, everything. And you're going to move up the ladder. Okay? Because I want you to sit. There's another business model, which is McDonald's, which is Walmart, which I learned today is Amazon. Is the truth is, I really don't want you to stay. Because as soon as you're gone, I don't have to pay any benefits, then the next guy comes in. That is their firm. When you bring in more people, you keep wages low, and you keep it churning around. Understand that what you are doing impacts not just your job in Starbucks, it is impacting the entire country. Real power rests with very, very wealthy people who own the economy, who own our political system. And the thing that these guys on top are most afraid of, but they are afraid that you guys will say, wait a minute, let's see, 31% increase in profits, $60 million to the former CEO, Schultz gets $1 billion richer, and I'm making 12 bucks. It doesn't make sense. That's not right. So what I want you to appreciate, your instincts here are right instincts. Now the system is not going to tell you that. And you are striking a nerve because you are acting in the way that millions and millions of people feel.
Wonderful reporting there. I like Bernie's last point that the system's not going to tell you that your instincts are right here, but your instincts are right here. Obviously, the company is not going to do things in your best interest, right? So, and that story from TJ, you guys, like that brought a tear to my eye. That's absolutely terrible. And yet I'm sure it's not a terribly uncommon story. Is that the society we want to build? Do we want to build a society where cancer patients have to increase their work hours so that they can afford health care? I mean, is that showing up to work, chemo sick? That's the society that we're going to fucking build? Also what? So Howard Schultz can make a few extra bucks? What an incredible story. And I just want to take a moment to note, like, this is part of why I think More Perfect Union's work is so important, because I think a lot of us know that things like that are happening on a regular basis. And yet it really sincerely does hit differently to hear somebody explain what they have been through. Then, like, you at home, just like ask yourself right now, you at home, if I would have just regurgitated the facts of TJ's story to you, that would have hit you not as strongly as hearing TJ explain what happened, right? So what More Perfect Union is doing is not just putting the facts out there, they're letting people hear, how is this impacting people's lives? And I think when we hear it in that framing, from that sort of point of view, it hits us differently. I think there are a lot of people listening right now, a lot of people around the country. Not that there are a lot of people listening to my live streams. I'm not, naive. But I think there are a lot of people around the country who know that stuff like that happens on an intellectual level, in like an abstract way. They know that kind of stuff is happening. If you told them that story vaguely, they'd be like, yeah, I'm sure that happens all the time. But it hits you differently when you got to hear the human being explain how that impacts their lives, right? So I just wanted to shout out More Perfect Union, bringing you these stories from the people themselves and humanizing the issue, because I think that's incredibly important. I stand in full solidarity, of course, with Starbucks. You guys, I'm sorry, with Starbucks employees, not with Starbucks. And I think that they're bringing Howard Schultz back to continue his career-long union-busting campaign is outrageous and morally repugnant. So good on those workers. You guys, as I'll always encourage you, don't cross those picket lines. Support striking workers in your area. I saw someone in the live chat there asking about, can I find Starbucks that are unionized so that I can know which ones to go to. I don't have that information on hand. I wish I do, but I'm quite sure you can. I know More Perfect Union on their website does have a map of all Starbucks that have filed for and have succeeded in unionization. So you might go to moreperfect.us and look at their maps of which Starbucks have unionized, which ones have not, which ones have filed, so that you know where to direct your efforts and where if you want to make as ethical of a consumer decision as you can under capitalism, then you can go maybe check out their website and go to a Starbucks that actually has unionized if you're so inclined. So stand with workers if they're organizing in your area, you guys, whether that's striking or walking out or unionizing or picketing or whatever it might be. Make sure that you're standing in solidarity with the working class everywhere.